Well, the cat's out the bag now. All right. Yeah. Good idea, bad idea. Who knows? I don't know. Um, hang on. Let me post this up. And that way I can bring you up here. That way you can see comments and all that other stuff. Hang on, guys. Let's do this. And we're going to do copy link. Do this. There. All right. Let's see. Who's here? 5 people. So the point of doing all this, guys, is to hang out with you. That's why I want to go live. But also, I've got, we had a little something going on. So let's chat. Um, uh, shout out to Mike Shetley for being awesome and supporting me, and Mike Batto, of course. So Mike Shetley is Rattler on OPE Forum, and Mike Batto is Glock 37 on OPE Forum, and shout out to Rory Bond too. I don't know if Rory's on OPE. I don't think so. He's like the 288 man. When it comes to 288s, it's Rory. So I know we got a lot going on the bench here, but yeah, cat's out the bag on this. I've been working kind of in secret for months on a small project, and it really became more relevant recently. So you guys know I do 288 top covers, and so far this is the only product I'm producing because it was so expensive. I I I can't put any more money towards it until I get my initial investment back. It's too much. Hey Nikki. So I don't know how much. I don't think we're gonna do any building today, but I might take apart this 2156. I might just pop the cases apart just so we do that. And so far the update on this 2156 is that I think we're just going to hold on to it for parts rather than try to rebuild it because it's going to be very pricey to rebuild. So, anywho, back to the 288 issue at hand. So I came up with the idea. I was trying to think of how to promote the 288 top covers, how to get the word out there, and the guy that does vintage saws. Calm, how's it going? The guy on YouTube that's basically the most popular that does vintage saws that would possibly appreciate 288 stuff, that has the most subs, is Buck and Billy Ray. So I figured, well, you know what? Why don't I build him a 288 that we completely knock out of the park, something totally unique, powder coated, ported, high top, all blacked out. Just the whole shoot. Just do the whole shoot on it, and make sure I knock it out of the park, and then surprise him with it, and put a little note, and kind of hope he reads the note, type of thing. Be nice if he opened the box live, you know. And if he read the note and opened the box live, I'd get the top covers promoted and get the word out there. It would be good. And it would cost me, well, a very expensive 288, but in the end, it might be worth it. And the other thing that I noticed was that Buckin didn't have a 288, or at least not that I had seen. Just so everybody knows, my favorite is still 394. Still my favorite. But generally, I don't struggle getting parts for a 394. The high top thing is a bit of an issue, but that's okay. We'll eventually we'll work on that. The 394s are my favorite, and really, like, the biggest difference between a 394 and 288, 394 is heavier and has a bit of a bigger piston. We're talking 56 millimeter versus 54 millimeter. Anywho, so I figured I really knew that I had to knock this saw completely out of the park. It had to be just super awesome. So I had Glock do the powder coating on it, all black. Clutch cover, brand new, OEM, black. He even did the muffler. Like, I TIG welded a Red 97 deflector on there, and he rebrazed it, smoothed it out, powdered it. Nice. I knew this had to be good. So, the story is that Buckin, he got the saw on a Tuesday. Didn't hear nothing from him. And Sunday, he had gone live, and I mentioned it on the live stream. Hey, did you get the box? And basically, the long and the short of it was, you can go back and watch the live stream. It was a few weeks ago. It was probably 4 weeks ago now. It was on a Sunday, and it was somewhere about 27 minutes in. I finally caught his attention and asked him about the box, and it was pretty clear to me that it had fallen flat. So, and I know that there have been some fires out there, so I was like, okay, fires. Yeah, that's why he's not running it. And I even sent him a letter. I sent him a note in the box explaining what was up. I sent him an email explaining what was up. I sent him a second email explaining what was up, and telling him basically that, this is not about the saw. It's not about him. It's not about me. It's about getting these top covers out there, and that we've got a problem, and the big problem that we got going now. By the way, can you guys hear me? Yeah, okay. You guys can hear me. The big problem we got now is we're getting steamrolled by the Chinese. So, if I can get a few little parts made that would really help people out and, really benefit the chainsaw community, I think that'd be awesome. Oh, that's Kevin. Hang on a second. So yeah, JC Lund, right? Yeah. So it's not about me and it's not about him, and I want to make that really clear that this is about, if I can get these sold, if these start selling reasonable, then I'll have enough free cash, or I'm not going to make money on these. If I could get my money back, that would be a good start. I'm not counting on making money on these. I need to get my money back, and then once I do that, then we can do the next thing. The next thing is actually 266 covers. I think that's really what's up next. But the price on it is like 10 grand. Now, we're talking about made in USA. These darn things are, how many other products in chainsaws have a drop a tree on it warranty. None. These things are really tough. So drop a tree on it and find out. You know? Anyway, I just need the top covers promoted a little bit so we can get things moving. And when things get moving, I can do some really cool stuff. And I thought this was really, I really, you know, maybe it's my bad. You know, it's my bad. Hey, Roadrunner. Maybe this is my bad, and I made a bad decision. It's always possible. This has happened before. You swing for the fences and you whiff. You know. I just thought that I could get some cool parts made that were in demand for some of these old saws and keep some of these old saws working. Look at this. We need powder coated on a 288 crankcase. How nice is that? In whatever color you want, pretty much. So we can, you know, for those people that are interested, then, you know, we can do this. It's cool. But I need some support. And I thought that the best way of doing it would be to send Buckin a saw and hope for a little promotion. Now, if he doesn't like it, that's one thing. Totally understand. If it's not his thing, totally get it. Not his thing. For whatever reason, I don't know why a hopped up, completely customized 288 wouldn't be your thing for a vintage saw guy, but whatever. You know, again, maybe my mistake. If anybody thinks I'm out of line, you can obviously let me know. You know, Matt, geez, you made a mistake here. Fine. The only person here that really gets hurt ultimately is me. I mean, I'm the one that put up the money to do this. So, oops. But if it gets promoted and it goes somewhere, I think we can do something cool. I got the guy. He's ready to do the CAD design and the injection molding. I mean, I've had a few ideas thrown at me just this week. 084 covers. That may or may not be reasonable to do, but you know, who's you know, 084 covers or 266 covers, or somebody asked for 2101 covers too. You know, can you do it? Yes, we can do it. It's pricey. And I don't care about the pricey. That's not the problem. The problem is that I don't have my investment back on these yet. That's the problem. So, and I might not, because theoretically next month China's coming up with this. Are they going to make one that with a drop a tree on it warranty? Probably not. But if they come up with it and everybody buys it, then I'm really up the creek. And I've got nobody to blame but myself for that. So it would just be a shame. So if anybody thinks I'm out of line, you know, let me know. Whoever says, no, you're not. I did this on camo wrap. Bought it without blinking an eye. Yeah. You'd think that, like, when you do really cool stuff, like powder coat saws, like, oh, no, that's different, right? You'd think that you could only see so many McCulloch 1010s before you know, say, okay, you know, whatever. And then you move on to something else. Or so many 372s or whatever. It's another 394. I love 394s. I have like 5 of them. 3 of them, I've 2 of them out in the shed, 1 in a non-disclosed location. Not 3 out in the shed, 1 in a non-disclosed location, just in case my shed gets raided again. And 1 at the in-laws. So I can run 394s. I love running them things. Anyway, 7 people here this morning live. Do appreciate it. So if anybody wants to send me a message or a comment, you can find me on Facebook, on Messenger. You can email me. Matty05 at AOL.com. Here's my email address. MattsChainsawParts.com now. And I still haven't even sold a single top cover through there. So if anybody wants to try it out, that'd be cool. What else? If you guys have any questions or, shoot me any ideas, I'm all ears right now. I'm at least a little frustrated. I thought something like this. I thought the top covers by themselves would have so many legs that I thought I'd sell 100 of these in the first week, and I wouldn't know what to do with myself as far as shipping goes. Again, shout out to Rory. Thank you, Rory. Hopefully get Rory. JC Matt, what about HL Supply? Yes, so that's kind of the next thought. I know Bruce pretty well. He's head of HL Supply. The thing is, if I do that, I could probably sell all of them. That wouldn't be a problem. But then I'm guaranteed to not get my money back. So, yeah, right now, it's a great question. Right now, we're actually working on. Bruce has the aftermarket filter, which is awesome, and the aftermarket elbow, which is even more important. So those are in prototype phase right now. As soon as he gets those in stock, then theoretically there can be some type of package deal or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. If that's really going to be, a business deal like that has to be lucrative for both parties, and I don't know how we can work that out. But I think it'd be cool. Yeah. That's really like kind of the next step is like, okay, kind of explore something with Bruce and see what flies. Yeah. And which is why I really haven't gone to the other retailers too. So big shout outs to like all Definitive Dave, the Duke, Chris, Theroff over at is that Saw Salvage? Saw Salvage? Forgive me, Chris. Oh my God. Yeah, so it's Definitive Dave. There's Chris Theroff, or the Duke. He's the Duke on OPE Forum. And Nate out at Performance Outdoor. Nate's been very good to me as well. So there's a bunch of guys out there that are really would be even candidates to have something like this. But my first kind of bent is towards HL Supply. I have an affiliate link with them. They've been very generous with me. Am I making sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Got 8 people here. Who else is here? What do you think, guys? Should we move on from the whole 288 topic and take this crankcase apart? Is that what we should do? I think there's so much missing from this 2156. I'm just not so sure that it's worth it to put this back together. Maybe, but it's probably $500-600. It's a lot of money. What do you think, guys? Should we pop this apart? Move on. Enough drama? I don't know. So, as another shout out, Sean Carr did do, has been doing welding for me on these crankcases. So, on a go forward basis, I now have my own welder. So, I've been doing some welding on the crankcases to actually do repairs. Not sure how lucrative it is for me to do that. I'm pretty sure. I mean, Sean charges for it, of course, but I doubt he makes tons of money off of it because it takes time. I mean, it's a considerable amount of time to actually do these cases and get them right. So, yeah, and he's SR Carr on SR Carr 52, SR CARR 52 at OPE on OPE forum. So, anything else before I tear this down? Thoughts, questions? So I just wanted to be clear, like, it's not about anything but the covers. Right? That's what it's about. And I think Buchan took things a bit of a different direction, but I don't have any control over that. So, kind of an oh well. All right, so let's pull this apart. Use my vacuum, but I think it's upstairs. All right, 2156 case. So everything in here is actually pretty nice. So do we really need to get rid of these seals? Not necessarily, but I'm going to anyway. There's a method here to my madness. Remember, the crank is real strong. Dig in here on the metal and lift the metal up. Bow. What you don't want to do, you can hear this. That's hard. You think the seal is good for much longer? J Boy, how's it going? What we don't want to do is you don't want to gouge the magnesium. That's bad. And the bearings are all carboned up. The crank's beautiful, but the bearings are all carboned up. So we've got stuffers in here, and the thing about crank stuffers is that it means you cannot get the typical splitter in here. So I'm going to have to do this with heat, which is unfortunate, but that's the way it is. So I go in again. You can get a seal puller. That's possible, but it takes just a minute to do this. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, now that I had a saw that ran on this channel and the dang bar stud fell out, I am pretty sure those bar studs are like new OEM studs. So I'm pretty sure that I JB welded them things in too. And another thing you can do with these is that if it's not moving, you can get it to move by giving it a little tap. So kind of, if it's kind of frozen, just tap it down on the side opposite to where you're working. Yeah, I think the guys on OPE have been talking about sending Buck in a saw for years. And I was like, you know what? This is kind of the opportunity to do it. And it's like, hope he likes it. If he likes it, great. If he doesn't, which is why I really had the sense like, geez, I got to knock this out of the park. You know what I mean? No, that's why. The tip broke. Let me grind that. It's just an old screwdriver. I put a tip on. That's all. This one really doesn't want to move. Just grab it and go, but it doesn't want to go. Too much bite. Sometimes you can put a block in there or whatever, increase your leverage. The other one came out much easier. There we go. Yeah, these the bearings are all carboned up. Might as well throw fresh in here. If you're going to do this, Alright, so now I got to get the heat out. And we're going to pop this out. I'm not going to do it with this hammer. Like a rubber hammer, rubber mallet. Make sure my heat gun works. So, if you're not going to use a splitter, the regular clamshell or C-clamp style splitter, um, which I'll show here again. This is the Husky style splitter, and I've added a piece of 5/8 rod, and you just double nut the end with a washer, and then you grab this with your socket or a ratcheting wrench, a gear wrench. Um, but if you can't use this because you got stuffers, then you can do it with heat. So, but then what's going to happen is most likely the bearings are going to stay on the crank. Then you need to use a bearing puller later. So, catch right on fire too, so it's not the best. Yeah, I want to have gasoline around, but not here. This. Wish I could. Hang on. There's a brush. Brush here. Hit it with a brush. Hang on.